And now, live from Pod Cabin in Burbank, California, it's the Allison Rosen is Your New Best Friend show. Tonight, Allison welcomes a guest. He's a writer and comedian who will soon be the world's first distributor of magic eye porn. It's for people who like being barely able to maybe see genitals, or maybe it's a sailboat. It's Jordan Morris. Chef Jeff is here to announce he's made a tentative deal with the AMPTP for them to continue to not know he exists. I'm her husband Daniel saying hop on board the love bus and say hello to your new best friend, Allison Rosen.
Allison Rosen, Allison Rosen is your new best friend. Allison, with her good times never end. Allison Rosen, doing the wavy pencil dance again. Allison's your new best friend.
Hello, my little bubble and squeak. Welcome to another exciting episode of Allison Rosen is Your New Best Friend, that particular carbohydrate. And by the way, to make it plural, I don't know if it's bubble and squeaks, bubbles and squeak, bubbles and squeaks, bubble and squeak. I I had to do all four. I don't know which it is.
What is it?
Well,
it sounds like Cockney rhyming slang.
It does.
Like bubbles and squeaks, love. And then it's like, oh, squeaks rhymes with weeks. So it means how's your week or something.
Right. It totally does. And Jordan Morris, you are on to something because it was presented on Patreon by Stephanie Loftus in honor of you.
Oh my gosh.
And it is potatoes, cabbage, and meat all fried together. And we'll get to what you have to do with bubble and squeak.
I can't wait.
Or with how was your week?
Is it one of those Cockney rhymes like bubble and squeak, potatoes and meat? Is that what?
Oh,
I don't know. Is it? I mean, that sounds like a very British meal you've described.
But like, why is
Is every
and
British meal just potatoes and meat, but some variation of potatoes and meat?
What's
Right,
bangers
sure.
and mash?
Potatoes and meat.
Yeah, interesting.
When the Earl Grey tea, potatoes and meat.
Yes,
Potatoes and meat.
exactly.
I am on Patreon. All sorts of fun stuff over there.
Patreon.
I just uploaded very recently a friend zone with someone who's a friend to all of us. It's Robin Shore. And we went to Phil Rosenthal's movie night. We had a delightful time, and we get into detail about all of that. And then also, she went to acting school years ago.
Quack.
My new favorite drop with Danny Masterson. And she has and
you know what I just learned?
What?
In Scientology, the lie that they will tell to cover up something or to obfuscate is called a shore story.
Really?
Yes.
Get out.
And her name, if you missed it, is
It's
Robin Shore.
Yeah, no, I see her bringing it all together.
You see what I'm
But
People
saying?
are going to have to make the
I don't want people to
yarn
read
on a
No.
bulletin board
Yes, that
in
Carrie
their
made
house.
I do the
in,
work for you.
did you watch Homecoming?
No, I did not.
Oh,
no.
okay. So when she's figuring out like what's going on, what's real, what's not,
Homecoming.
not Homecoming. Homeland. Homecoming was a different show.
Yeah.
Isn't that the one on Amazon that I liked that you didn't?
Yeah, should we start the show over?
Have we started yet?
Yeah.
I think it's going great.
I like it
Jeff,
so
you're
far.
going to be cutting this out.
Anyway, Carrie is constantly staring at like a bigger and bigger, board of
Right.
different things and lines
Connection.
and
It's
all
sure.
that.
It's a
Newspaper
trope.
articles.
It's a
Right.
trope.
I think they call it a murder board
Murder
these days.
board.
I think that's yeah.
I don't like that name of it, but yes.
I know, yeah.
Okay, so anyway, a chilling and prophetic story about a certain actor who's headed to prison. And if you happened to be listening 45 seconds ago, you would have heard the name. But if you just tuned in now, you didn't hear it.
Just hit that rewind button and listen again.
Patreon, don't tell them how.
Well, they just hear it again.
Patreon.com/Allison Rosen. Opt for an annual subscription and get 2 months free. Okay, I would like to say hello to my guests who you might already be familiar with. Jordan Morris, hello.
Hi. It's
Welcome
great
back.
to be here. It's great to be back.
Fresh from England. We will get into all of
True.
that.
Oh
And
yeah,
fresh
maybe that's
from-
why Cockney rhyming slang.
Yeah.
I had Cockney rhyming slang on the brain.
You're like one of
Exactly.
those people that comes back and now everything has to do with the country. You're just, that
Right.
reminds
Yeah,
me
you have a
of
new
when,
accent.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just a sponge for accents. I went to college with a guy who
Really?
studied abroad for a month, and then came back and was like, "Love, cheers." And then I just remember being at a party and him going, "I'm sorry, I'm just a sponge for accents."
That's annoying. I don't mean to one up, but there was a kid
But he
in
is
my
a
high
sponge
school.
for accents.
No, there was a kid in my high school who was new to our high school our junior year and told everybody, including the administration and everyone, he was from England.
Oh, I like this story.
And it wasn't until the next year that the truth came out. He was from Phoenix.
Ah, yes.
I don't believe he'd
Very
even
similar.
The
been.
England of the West, they call it.
Yes. I don't believe he'd ever been to England. But
And he had an
nobody
accent and
But he was
in
just good at the
Tucson
accent.
had any idea what an authentic British accent was like. So what's that?
He had an accent, was my question.
Yes. Oh, yeah. He spoke in an accent the whole
What
time.
was it? Was it like Cockney?
I think
Was
it
it
was just
chimney
like-
sweep?
I think it was just
Right.
like your average American doing a British accent, just like PBS British. You know what I mean?
Masterpiece Theater.
Sure. Yeah.
Yes. Although I will say, piece of trivia, their London Bridge is in Arizona. They moved it to Arizona.
That's true.
In honor of him.
Yes. Maybe that.
Daniel Quantz, welcome
Hi.
to the show as
Hello.
well.
Thank you.
And filling in for Tony, Jeff Fox, hello.
Hello. Thank you. It's good to be here. Good to see you, Jordan.
We should all be a little more like Jeff Fox.
Well, thank you. So kind of you. I wasn't fishing for a compliment, but it's good to see you.
What was I really saying during that heavily edited drop?
Jeff Foxworthy.
Oh, well, yes. Well, that's true. I stand by that statement. We should
should
all be a
technically
little
know.
more like Jeff Fox.
Worthy.
That is hilarious. But why were you saying we should all be more like Jeff Foxworthy, even in jest?
God, great question. I
Anyone
I
know?
kind of like doing the Jeff Foxworthy voice. I kind of like
Mm-hmm.
doing, you're a guy when you're going down. I like that.
Because you're a
Right.
sponge for accents.
I'm just,
also.
I'm just a sponge for accents.
Right.
So, all right, I need to hear. So I did
Yeah.
Jordan Jesse Go last
You
night.
did. It was tons of fun.
Tons of
That'll be in the
fun.
Jordan Jesse Go feed soonish.
What day do you know?
I don't know, actually. We're banking
Okay.
some episodes because Jesse's going on tour. Just some fun logistical podcast chat for y'all.
Fun.
So, that'll be in the coming weeks, let's say.
Okay.
That was last night.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was thinking like, God, it's been like 3 days since she was on. It was last night.
It was last night.
That's how long these days
Life is shitting on our face right now.
Oh my, yeah,
Yeah.
you
Life is
alluded
taking a
to
hot
it. So
car
I
In a
do
bad
know,
way. In a
I
bad
do
way.
know that y'all are having plumbing issues.
Yes, and it's.
Yes.
I don't want to give it away, but Jesse suggested it was because our poop was too big, and it's not that.
Sure.
When it's funny. It's like when you say you have a tummy ache.
When
Everyone
you
knows.
know your poop is too big.
When you
Yeah.
say you have a tummy ache, just like when you say you have plumbing issues, everyone assumes it's shit based.
Right.
But
Neither is true.
in
There
this
are,
situation,
yeah, sure.
there are shit based tummy aches.
Well, I do shit in the sink though. So
Okay.
It
So-
sort of is in a way.
Yeah, we have a leak. Nothing to do with poop. However, evidently, and all this information was communicated to us by a very loquacious plumber yesterday.
Did he sit you down and assure you it's not your poop?
No. You'd think he would too,
Right.
because what you look for in a plumber
Good.
is insight and bedside manner.
Yeah.
Right.
No, but apparently we have to completely destroy the floor in our bathroom,
Just
dig up the
rip
floor.
up the entire floor in our bathroom, perhaps part of the wall.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
boy.
like they won't know till they get in there how bad it is. But I mean,
Right.
it's just like,
Set the kids' room on fire.
yes, move.
Kick over the chimney.
It
Crash the car into a Taco Bell.
the whole project could take between 1 and 5 months,
Oh my gosh.
and
That's what he-
so we're going to be out of our bathroom
So
for
you're just
that
gonna be
long.
holding it.
And we'll have workers like in our bedroom and bathroom
Yeah.
all day.
And they work
every day.
early.
You should start collecting all the local Starbucks bathroom codes.
Yeah.
Just have a little thing on your notes app or carry a little Moleskine with you.
Yeah.
Wait,
Just start keeping track of all those bathroom codes.
this is brilliant.
Thank you.
Why
idea.
have I never thought to commit to memory a bathroom code?
Because why would you?
Even
Well, I mean, I can listen. I can if there's a
for this situation.
sure. If there's a
It's called
if
foresight,
there's
Daniel.
a place that you're
I
stopping
know.
on a commute or something, and you don't want to buy that arbitrary bottle of water or small coffee or whatever, you can just cruise in.
Yeah. Well,
the bathroom,
that's true. If
cruise
there's a trip you make often,
Right.
and you don't want to, and like there's a pit stop, but it's like either the Chevron
Right.
or the Starbucks,
But
memorize that number.
Even at my therapist's office, I always have to look at the placard in her office that has the code to the bathroom.
Mhm.
And that's like a frequently used bathroom by me.
Well, that sounds like
I
you're
should
not
commit it to
managing your
memory.
life.
Just
very
get a
well.
tattoo.
Yeah,
Yes.
tattoo.
Of all the local bathroom codes.
Oh my God. I'll have to keep adding to it. But
Right,
that's the
memento
thing. They
style.
are living works in progress.
Exactly.
Tattoos are, from my understanding. So
And
anyway.
they can be beautiful. The fonts can be beautiful.
Yes.
I don't think numbers on your forearm would be the best look.
Why? So anyway.
Maybe don't do forearm, yeah.
I don't.
Well, she pointed to
I
her
don't get it.
forearm.
Well, if I put it on my butt, then I'm not going to be able to see it when I
Right,
need
yeah,
it.
right. It has to be
True.
both
It's gotta be
useful
handy.
and tasteful.
Put it across your knuckles. It's right there.
Well,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
wear one of those wrist things that quarterbacks, you flip it and you see the numbers. on
that's a
there.
good idea.
What's that, like a wrist notebook?
It's like they got the plays and you just kind of flip it up
Oh.
and there's a clear, like laminated.
I like bathroom code knuckle tats. It's kind of tough, you know?
Right. 301 £.
And
Right.
won't your therapist be impressed when you're like,
Yes.
I don't need it. It's right here. And you show her the tattoo
That's right.
of her bathroom
Yeah,
code.
she'll be like, we've done a lot of good work in here.
Oh, we
good,
just,
it's
we just
sinking in.
changed that.
Let's can we do 3 times a week now? Can we up this to 3 times a week?
So anyway, so I think that's why time is distorted for Daniel, because we are about to just, I feel like they just have us over a barrel, because it's like,
Do you guys just have the one toilet?
no.
We have
No,
a-
we're fine.
But all toilet.
No,
there will
it's
be
just-
other
this
toilet
is-
options.
There's
Yes,
other
we have
toilets.
other-
Ugh. At this point in my life, I have a preferred shower. I have a preferred toilet. I've got my routine
Yes,
down.
of course.
I'm not resilient in this way.
There's the
Like-
having to switch bathrooms of it, but there's also just the
It's mostly-
bathroom
for me, it's
connected
the
to our
cost of it.
bedroom is going to be open to the elements, and people will be working in our private space.
Now, our
It's
own
just very disruptive.
Patreon subscriber, Ray Morgan, asked, isn't there any way? Oh, because one of the perks is of Patreon, there's a number where you can text me and I'll text you back. And you might receive text from me about such exciting things as bathroom plumbing issues. Ray Morgan said, there's no way they can just fix it from underneath the house. Now, I wondered this too.
No,
Why?
because the floor is damaged.
No, but according to the plumber from yesterday, the reason they have to tear up the floor is because they have to get to the subflooring.
But the floor is damaged. I've looked at the pictures.
Oh, poop.
Is it worth getting a second
Oh, yeah.
plumber opinion?
Yes.
Oh, we will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then that's the other thing is just getting someone.
Just a pain in the butt.
It's a business full of con artists.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And so it's just like finding someone that you can trust and
It's really two different jobs. It's the plumbing of it all, and then it's like the construction
Right.
or whatever. The whole thing is just like, I don't want to deal. It's like when your car breaks down and they're like, it's going to be, $17,000 to fix. And you're like, fuck, I don't have that for this right now. And this is like,
Yeah.
if I'm going to spend that much money, I'm going to do something fun.
Yeah, and then you spend
But-
all the money and all the time, and then you're just back to zero.
Yeah. Anyway, wah. But the point of all that is, last
Call Ray.
night
Oh,
I
God.
did Jordan Jesse Go.
Yes. You were great, as always.
Thank you very much. I felt like I talked over people a little bit.
No, that's okay. We did it on Zoom,
Yeah.
so it's always, there's a little delay.
Right.
And, the audience wants to hear from you. They hear from us every goddamn week. So
Thank you.
railroad as you see fit.
Arguably,
You
they
narcissistic
tune in-
motherfucker.
they tune in for you to your
right.
show. But I mean, I don't want to split hairs.
Well, I'm trying to be a host, Daniel. Okay,
Okay,
give me
no,
a
I-
call.
I-
Just give me a call.
Yeah, she's important too.
Yeah,
I
of
get
course.
it.
Yeah.
So I felt that I wanted to hear more about your experience at London
Oh,
Podfest.
sure. Yeah.
So that is what I want to get to. But
Okay.
first, something shocking.
No.
Do you have a shocking sound, Jeff?
I do.
Jeff is great. What a guy. Handsome and everything.
Something shocking has
Okay.
happened lately.
Ooh, that's good too.
Something shocking and surprising is
Can we
afoot.
hear a third option? Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
How many of these are there? Because I can keep going.
We're getting farther away. We're getting farther away from shocking.
You're never going to guess what happened. When
the
I tell
one.
you this,
That's
you
the
are going to
one.
not believe it.
It's kind of relaxing.
Hang on to your socks when you hear this.
Oh, that's a good one.
I think I might want to go to Burning Man someday.
Was that the
Yeah, that's the thing.
Love it. Let's hear more. I've been to Burning Man the one time. I've been once.
Mm-hmm.
I have been a time.
Yes, how was it?
It's okay. So here's the story behind me going to Burning Man once.
Please.
Burning Man for us on the Jordan Jesse Go podcast. We just used as a punchline a lot.
course,
I had not
everyone
been.
does.
Jesse had not been. Yeah, exactly. And it's just such a fun, source of humor. You're naked with your Mad Max goggles and you're
Right.
on acid and you're fucking in a dust storm. Ha ha ha. We're all having fun. Burning Man people are serious about it and maybe aren't nuts when people take the piss.
Sure.
Oh, did you hear from them?
Yeah, we over the years we had.
Okay.
By the
We did
way,
hear from people.
Taking the piss. He's a sponge for local
Oh
idiots.
God! Oh, sorry, love. I was just having a laugh, and so we would hear from people who would want us to have a more diplomatic
Right, they would
view of
defend
Burning Man. Montessori schools too. You'll get that with if you make fun of a Montessori
Sure.
school. You'll hear from the Montessori.
There's
people.
something about wanting a diplomatic view of Burning Man. It's
Right.
like, isn't the whole idea that it's just a counterculture? Like, why would
That's
you-
not funny.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
It's like
I
it's
think
an
what they're-
irreverent.
yes.
It's an irreverent. There's
I mean,
a reference to
no,
something
I
that's.
think
They're very serious.
Yeah.
My understanding is they're very serious about their endeavor.
Right.
So they don't want it to be this like one note punchline, even though it opens us
They
up to
understand that no one knows what their endeavor is, right?
Well, let's hear from
Okay, it's
Jordan.
okay. It's
yeah,
like-
I still am unclear about it. However, recently someone described it to me, and I'm like, oh, maybe I do want to go.
Like, as
Jordan.
far as I understand it, before you go
Yes,
on,
please.
the endeavor is driving around in a dusty lake bed and then occasionally being in a tent circle jerking strangers.
and setting things on fire.
See, it's beautiful, Daniel. You get it. It's the nuance.
Which I have nothing
It's
against.
utopia. Yeah. So I got someone slid into my DMs
Okay.
and said, I work for Burning Man. I work with the organizers. I'm leaving you a ticket. Just come.
Oh wow.
So I was like, well, I got to do it.
You
You
gotta
got
go.
to do it. So I just kind of decided to say yes to life and, got a flight out to Reno and rented a car and I guess they won't rent to Burning Man people. They won't rent cars. So you have to make up a little story about why you're in Reno on that
They've
exact
been burned
weekend.
way too many times.
Sure.
just know they
And why
can-
you've got a unicorn butt plug in that they can see coming out of your shorts.
Like you've got a suit jacket over the feathers coming out.
I am here for a business meeting.
I didn't know they could do something like that. Like say we're not gonna rent cars to.
Yeah, that's just kind of a little tip that I got is have a little cover story. Yeah,
Right.
again, I don't know if Avis can just shoot you down if you're whatever wearing
Right.
steampunk wings or something. But anyway, so yeah, drove out.
As you're pulling out, you see the guys whose job it is to clean the car afterwards, just standing there with a tear rolling down his
Yeah. Hope you can get out cum, boys. Hope you got a good cum
Cum and
spray.
glitter.
Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
Yeah, cum and glitter. And I, just kind of through Facebook found friends of friends who were going and had a camp. They were called the Time Colony. Their thing is, so every camp has a thing, right? Every camp is supposed to provide a service or a piece of art or a piece of fun or something. Their thing was historical pre-enactments, which were reenactments of wars that hadn't happened yet. And they had a big yurt, and I slept in the yurt, and I kind of just tried to
How big a yurt are we talking about? And I don't even know what a regular yurt is.
It's a great question, Allison.
A yurt can be
and,
pretty big.
it may have been a geodesic dome. I may be misusing
Was it the
my...
size of 4 of these studios, or?
Yeah, I would say it was the size of 2 of these studios.
Oh, okay.
And we all
So,
just kind of slept in line.
Say 20 by 30 or something.
How many nights?
I didn't go for the whole thing. I kind of thought I kind of used the Vegas strategy, right? Like, don't overstay it. Go, make it a little bit of a shorter trip than everybody else in the group. So yeah, I was there for like 5 days.
That's actually a lot.
Yeah, I know. And then yeah, I think there's some people who are there for like 10 days, 2 weeks.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I saw the man burn. I took a bunch of drugs.
Yeah, nice. What was your favorite?
His favorite drug?
Yeah. I mean, Molly's terrific. Molly's a wonderful experience. And I did. I had not done acid in a long time, and I did acid for the first time in like a while, and just had a lovely experience. And yeah, there's just art, and people are just handing you booze, and everything's crazy. I don't know. I'm like not. I didn't feel like I felt like I was observing. I'm like, this is like not my thing. Like, I will never learn to smelt so I could make a,
What's smelting?
Oh, I guess I'm just thinking of like, there's a lot of like metal work people and a lot of woodwork people.
When you said smelt, for some reason, I was thinking of like fish.
Yeah. If you smelt it, you're the ones who dealt it. I don't think I'll ever have, I don't think I'll ever have dealt it. But yeah, but it was fun. Everybody was really lovely. You basically just like start having fun when you get there, and it doesn't stop till you get in the giant line to leave.
But like, what kind of fun?
I have an anecdote.
Okay.
So there's a lot of bikes, right? And you kind of just, if you see a bike, you're just kind of allowed to take it,
really?
and you can just leave it wherever.
I didn't realize that about the bikes.
That's the economy there. That's the vibe.
So
like, we're all sharing. There's no money.
No money.
You can like barter, but you're kind of just supposed to like have something to give people.
Did this ever become a problem for you?
No, I was able to mooch. I think I had the rental car, so I was able to, like, when I left, take a bunch of garbage with me, and that was my contribution. Mm-hmm. It's like, I can haul some of this garbage away.
Okay.
So we're riding bikes.
So you were the trash man of the Stone Age.
I was, yes, exactly. And so we're riding bikes, and this kind of dude steps into kind of our path and flags us down, and we like pull over, and he's like, "Hi, can I wash you?" And he has one of those pumps, right? Those that you would use to like water a plant.
Sure.
So it's very hot out there, so we're like, "Oh yeah, sure." So he like, he's like, "Can I?" He's asking all. He's like, "Can I wash your arms?" Like, sure. We gotta hold it our arms. Wash our arms. He's like, "Can I wash your face?" Sure. He sprays everybody's face. He washes our face. Feels great. It's like, "Can I wash your taint?" And then,
he goes from face to taint.
He did go from. It was a 3-step thing. 1 was arms, 2 was face, 3 was taint. And yeah, and I
said yes?
I said sure. So I kind of laid down and presented, and he sprayed it. Felt amazing, and then he looked back at the people he was there with, and he just yells, 34! Just keeping track. No. So there's just a ton of shit like
they had a stamp with like some sort of drawing of a taint, and they just stamped
right,
it to
and
the
everybody
side
went,
of
woo! They were all stoked.
I love that.
Like Nazi airplane kills on the side of World War II.
Right, exactly, but it's taint stamps.
Do you think he was strategic about "Can I wash your taint?" as opposed to like your butt or your balls or your penis?
Good question. Yeah, I don't know kind of what this dude's deal was, or what the theme of his camp was. Maybe it was taints. Maybe it was just cleanliness. Maybe
there was no soap though, right?
There was no soap.
So to be particular about this, and I don't know why I am.
No, please let's get into it.
Really, what he should be saying is, "Can I rinse your taint?"
You're right.
Now, were you worried he might drop a digit? like anything untoward?
He was so nice in the lead up to the taint about asking. And I think everybody, in my
one would have to be.
Right. Yeah. That I'm like, I trusted him,
Sure.
I felt good.
If you weren't on drugs, would you have still been eager to let him rinse your taint?
God, that's a great question.
How generous with your taint are you when you're sober?
I would like to think that I was there in the spirit of say yes. So I would like to think that maybe that would have been all the high I would have needed. Sure. But yes, I was super fucked up.
I bet they
having
came
fun.
up with a funny name for their camp, and then we're like, how do we make this happen? And the name of the camp was Taint Misbehavior.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
Jeff,
I know, you can just kind of back into it. You're like, okay, we got this name. We love it.
we just need some taints. Ding,
Yeah.
ding, ding.
But no, I really have fun. I mean, you know, it's silly, it's ridiculous, but you know, when the man burns, it was very emotional.
Yeah.
They have a
man represents like society's the man, like the establishment, right?
I think so. I think it's that simple.
Okay.
But I think you can represent whatever you
Oh, you're
Why-
a personal man.
Yes.
I think it's more just like burning your cares and
Yeah,
worries
sure.
and, you know, coming out of this clean with a clean slate.
Hakuna Matata.
Yeah.
Mm.
You now, that's so funny that you're saying maybe I'm into it now, the
Mhm.
year after the kind of catastrophic flood year at Burning Man.
You know,
right?
I love that stuff.
You love flood, okay?
I love catastrophe. So I think the New York Times did a big article on it. I didn't read that. And I don't really know that much about the floods and all that, other than like, I've seen people say it wasn't as bad as it was portrayed in the media.
Okay.
But I think all of that has put Burning Man on my radar.
Right.
And I'm always surprised when people that I don't think of as Burning Man people are like very passionate about it.
Mhm.
Like, oh, maybe it's not exactly what I thought it was. And I had Ben Glebe. So my Ben Glebe episode went up on Monday. Everyone go check that one out. I think it was a good episode. He came with like a chest full of necklaces. He was fresh from Burning Man, chest full
Were
of
they
necklaces.
necklaces from Burning Man? Is that what
One
that
of
was?
them was, yes, but some of them represent other things. And he was willing to talk about each one.
Mm.
But then also, you know, my dad died in July and his dad died in April. And we talked like pretty extensively about those experiences. But I don't think it was a bummer of an episode. But anyway, talking to him about it, I wish I could put my finger exactly on what it was, but like, it just made me go, oh, what?
I'm sorry. I just thought like as a advertising slogan for him, like, maybe not a bummer. Perhaps not a bummer of an episode. Tune in.
Right.
No, I'm sorry.
I don't know. It just sounded like, oh, maybe I should be open to. It sounds like it really is this like complete otherworldly utopia. I
Yeah.
don't know, but it also like my understanding of it before that is it's basically like an orgy in every sense. Like it's just completely debaucherous, Dionysian, and like sort of insane, and that idea freaks me out. But people bring their families, right?
Yeah, there's.
I will never
you know, and I
bring
think
our
you
family,
can,
but-
and I think you know, I think like Vegas, there are versions of it, right? Like you could do you can do the crazy
I
strip
want to
club
do the room service version.
Vegas, yeah, or you can do a like, let's go to a Roy Choi restaurant and see a Cirque du Soleil,
Right.
which can be pretty erotic, I guess.
It
Depending
combines
on how
your
you feel
three
about
favorite
French
things.
clowns.
Dust,
Yeah.
heat,
It-
and camping.
Right. Yeah. It does feel dirty and the toilets are fucking awful.
Okay, I'm not gonna go. I've decided.
Yeah.
I'm
but yeah,
open-
I mean, it is just fun to be in another world, and it is fun to like be in a place where it's like,
But what does that mean, another world? I mean, I guess not
Right.
having money is interesting.
That is interesting.
From an intellectual standpoint, but like
I have
what-
that every day. I'm giving it away. I'm living it.
I think that the idea of going to a space where the rules of the society are just flipped,
Yeah.
and
Right.
it's not, there aren't any police, and it's just more of a communal thing, and that like it just looks different, and everyone's acting different, and it's probably very stimulating, and I would imagine,
Yeah. I mean, I think if you're like, I want to go and like appreciate the art, you can, because people do like build these insane art projects, and I think even if you were not
art, it's like structures.
Yeah, I think there are people who get there early, and like I did one where everybody like lays in this giant metal bowl, and there's a metal ceiling kind of suspended above you. Is this all dangerous? Maybe. And then a Viking comes out and
bangs it,
and with a fire pole, and he lights the ceiling on fire, and you just lay in this metal bowl and watch this ceiling burn. Really cool. There was like a
Someone's
rope.
burning.
I know. There's a rope like ladder that you climb up.
To get in the bowl?
No, this is another thing.
Okay.
So there's like a rope ladder that you would see at like a Chuck E. Cheese, and you climb up it, and then you get in this big rope bowl, and everyone's having a pillow fight. And like all this stuff is really fun when you're fucked up, but I could see how it would be fun if you were just like, a little stoned or something.
The other criticism
or five,
I've heard,
yeah. Right.
The other criticism I heard is like it's really become a place where it's kind of rich tech bros and
Yeah.
San
Yeah, I think
Francisco
that's a
sort of
thing,
tech
sure.
people.
Yeah.
So it's not quite the.
It's not as pure as it was.
Well, that's not to say it's not still fun, but I think there was, and it sounds so stupid, but I think there was a time before that where it was a little bit more counterculture types.
So many years ago, my friend Trevor came to visit me in Brooklyn, and we were walking around, and all of a sudden there was like this group of people. I think I'm trying to remember what it was they were walking, in quotes. I think they had those. Have you seen those wires that have like a ghost dog on them?
Yes,
So
sure.
it's like a wire with a collar, but there's no dog there. So they were all walking these, and then people were coming up and being like, "Oh, cute doggy," and pretending to pet the dogs. It was like encountering a flash mob.
Mhm.
It was just a lot of people, all of them pretending
They were all
they're-
committed to the fake dog.
Yes.
Okay.
The ones walking them and the people coming up. And I was just like, I can't stand any of this.
Yeah,
I
this sucks.
fucking hate this so much. It makes me want to die.
Right.
And Trevor was like, why? Like, I think it's amusing and
Trevor's
it's
a very
funny.
generous spirit.
He is.
Yeah.
Doesn't he seem like someone who would go to Burning Man?
Yes.
I don't think he ever has, though. But I'm thinking, given my...
Although
yes.
I think he might not. I can actually see the opposite too, where it's like he doesn't need that. Whatever.
Maybe, yes. In general, he would be more open to something
Right.
like that than I would be. But I'm thinking my reaction to this show of public tomfoolery,
Mm-hmm.
maybe doesn't that indicate that I would not be okay with Burning Man? Is it akin?
Yeah, I mean, I think yes, the similar crowd would do the fake dog flash mob,
Right.
So yeah, I mean, when you are the kinds of people that we are,
Mhm.
you spend a lot of time like judging stuff. If you're a comedy person,
Yeah.
if you're, and you do stuff like this.
Us.
And I think that I definitely feel like sometimes I will judge myself out of having fun.
Sure.
Like I will just like pick something apart or criticize it to the point where it's not fun anymore. And that's like a habit that I see in myself.
Mhm.
So that, it was fun to just go and like get messed up and do a bunch of drugs and stuff. But it was also kind of an interesting exercise in like this thing that I've been using as a punchline. Can I just enjoy it, or can I see what everyone likes about
Right.
it? And yeah.
I mean, it seems like a place to have epiphanies and spiritual awakenings and all that.
Yeah,
maybe.
totally.
Because Ben was saying there's like a whole decompression afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Did you experience that? Was it tough for you to shift back into regular society?
Yes, I was wearing my my Viking helmet and my unicorn butt plug for weeks afterwards. Not really. I don't think I was that immersed in it to the point where it like blew my mind in that way.
Right.
But I think it allowed, I think after that I was more apt to like try and appreciate something that I had only known as a joke before.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Daniel just rolled his eyes.
No, I wasn't rolling my eyes at that. No,
Like,
no.
If there was something,
No, was that the idea of Burning Man?
I wasn't really rolling my eyes. I have like conflicting thoughts on all of this. It's like putting Burning Man aside, the whole flash mob thing, where it's like, yes, I'm totally with you, Jordan. Like, there's this part of my brain that's always judging, and I go, what is there something wrong with me that when I imagine seeing a bunch of people with the fake dogs and then the people coming up, that I am annoyed by that?
Sure.
Because my reaction to that is they're so pleased with themselves.
Right.
Like, oh, look at me. I'm in the moment and I can have this amazing imagination.
Sure.
It's like,
Isn't
oh,
the
fuck
world
off.
beautiful? There's beauty everywhere.
Yeah.
I know. That kind of thing.
It's like, so
that
it's
is
performative and
Sure.
it's just like,
Yeah.
fuck off. On the other hand,
It's like people are like trying to go to work on the sidewalk.
but
And
that's
sure,
your
I
only,
understand.
like, most of the time with flash mobs, it's like someone pushing a magic trick on you or something.
Right.
It's just like, oh, wow, look at you. That is just okay. Like, fuck, man, like, leave me alone. But then I go,
If there was a designated space for that,
Well,
where you
before
could
I
go
get
into
there-
the space,
before I get there-
okay.
but am I just an asshole? Because it's like, maybe they are having a genuine fun, and it isn't that, and I'm just really cynical. So
if they were in a giant metal bowl together and no one could see them, would they still pretend they have dogs?
right.
Is the question.
Well, so
Great question.
Burning Man has a little bit of that in my mind, which is like, it's not in the beginning. Now, Burning Man now, if you go, it's a little bit like, I am going in order to have this spiritual thing, and it's a place where I'm supposed to have that. And look at me having this experience. But then I think, no, but it's so huge, and you're so anonymous within it that you probably do end up just having that experience. So I don't know what to make of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are not pure ways to do it. Certainly, I think there are tech bros who hovercraft in, and they're like influencer types who
I know
are
what
there
it
for
is.
content.
It's if you go and you just do it, because I know other people who've done it and they've
Right.
just gone and they don't really talk about it. Then I have no judgment in my mind about that. That's cool. Like, go do it. But if you go and you do it and then you're telling everybody about what you learned and it's like, why did you do it? Did you do it for you, or did you do it to have this like thing that you could tell people? Because
I mean, it's the I'm a sponge for accent guy. It's
Yes.
like, why did you study abroad? Was it to have the experience or to come back and tell everyone you're a sponge for
But then is that
accents?
even bad? I don't know, because I'm enjoying your story. So anyway,
Sure.
the point of this is I'm an asshole.
But
no
that's just
argument from me.
No.
no. I don't.
Okay.
Listen, I think we're all. I think
We're
you're
the
all
same kind
lovely
of
people.
asshole.
But yeah, I mean, I think there's something like when you do stuff like this, like comedy or podcasting or writing. There's just a part of your brain that's always looking for the joke. You
Right.
know, it's like, how can I make a joke about this? What's funny about this? And I think just the evil side of that is occasionally you can rob yourself of some fun by goofing on something in a way that tips over into mean.
But
Totally.
But where's the joke? Where's the funny part? Is like the pure or the generous version of that impulse, I think, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but
No.
I think that also a little bit it comes from
There's a booth at Burning Man where people can literally put words into your mouth. And open your
Wonderful.
mouth
I
love
and
that.
people.
I think it comes from I don't want to appear foolish.
Sure.
I'm a little too cool for all this silliness.
Right.
Like, I wonder a little bit, and I know we're going like on a very granular level of this, and it doesn't necessarily warrant that, but there's fucking people with their fucking fake dogs, and the people who are coming up and petting the fake dogs. And I think Trevor even pretended to pet a dog, and I was like, "Who are you?" Is it that I'm it's a genuine question. I don't actually know. Is it that I see something in them that I can't allow myself, which is
Play.
the willingness play or the willingness to like be a real goober?
I guess on some level I do envy people that can be public goobers.
Yeah.
So maybe there's
But when
some
they're
of that at work.
goobers, if they're the kind of crazy person that you go, they're wacky, they wake up wacky,
Yeah.
they make their breakfast wacky, they walk out the door wacky, whether anybody's looking or not.
Yeah.
I love that person.
Yeah.
But the person that's like, oh, I'm going to dress up so that everybody asks me why my shoes are squeaky walking down the street.
Okay. There's a guy that I don't know if he's still around. He used to string himself up with Christmas lights with a battery pack and ride his bike up and down Hollywood Boulevard at night. And that's just what he would do.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to look at him and go, this is why I love LA. There's a guy that does this.
Uh-huh.
And of course, now that guy, you could say, is he
Alive
like that.
still is what I would say.
But also, he's just like, there's something about it
There's
that
no
is
way.
that is freeing. He's wearing those Christmas lights for our sins. He is like,
Sure, yeah.
he is saying, I am going to do this because it gives me joy to do it, or maybe I have a serious mental illness that compels me to do it, and I'm miserable. I don't know.
The devil is telling me to do this.
Right, yeah.
Or
The
he'll bring
neighbor's
about the
dog talked me
apocalypse.
into it.
Yeah,
Be very
The only
dark.
one who can stay safe.
sure.
But either way, I look at it, and part of me is jealous of his freedom, because there is no part of me that is going to ever do that.
Yeah.
So
It's about the affectation. I think that's what it is.
Sure.
It's if you're being weird and you're just weird and you have no control over it or whatever, that's one thing. But when it's so affected,
yeah.
I think that's the difference.
I think you can tell when a person
try it out.
wants your
Think you like it.
reaction. And when someone wants my reaction, I am compelled to not give them that reaction. I hate that,
Mhm.
you know? So unless it's my son, and then I'll give it to him because he's cute.
What has happened to you?
My, Owen does magic tricks now the way Elliot used to, which is, okay, close your eyes. Okay, open your eyes.
Whoa!
How? And then Elliot would always go, do you know how I did it?
Also, Elliot telegraphs his tricks. So he'll be like, he has this trick where there's like one die in this little container, and then you shake it and it turns into like 20
It's a
little
cool
tiny
trick.
dies. It's really cool. But he'll show it to you and he'll be like, see this die? You would never think it could turn into 20 little dies, would you?
You'd never think that.
The prestige.
Yeah.
He always says at the beginning, like he wants to rule out that you would be able to guess what could happen.
You would never, yeah.
There was a moment recently where
I don't
Owen,
think I would saw this woman in half, right?
Yes.
That's like the last thing you would expect to happen.
there was a moment where Owen, they were together, and Owen did that, you know, where it's like he did his magic trick, and I reacted as though like, oh my God. And Elliot looked at me and he was just like horrified, because he realized, wait a minute, that was crap what he just did, but you're giving the same reaction that you give me.
Right.
And you could just see it dawning. It was like this moment of existential.
It's all
like,
been a lie.
Yeah.
and he wanted me to acknowledge that was bad. I felt bad.
I know.
I don't know what to do. It's like I have to go, yay, Owen, and then wink.
I am mad at myself for not going in a costume when I went. I just kind of wore, shorts and tees. But yeah, I think if I were to do it again, and I can see someone did offer me a spare ticket this year, and I was real close to going. I said no. Kind of glad I didn't. I don't think the mud thing sounds fun, exaggerated or not. But yeah, I think I would go full out, go full steampunk, Mad Max, Fairy Queen.
That does sound like the way to do it.
Yeah.
Just fully embrace it.
You gotta.
Just taints ablazing.
Taints ablazing.
Taints akimbo.
Spruce your taint.
Oh, you got to trim the taint.
You gotta you gotta
You don't
trim
know
the
how many
taint.
people are going to be staring at down the barrel of that
Sure.
taint.
Oh yeah.
Is it like a Ren Fair times 1,000?
There's an overlap. Yeah, I mean that's an apt comparison, I think.
Yeah, I can only do a
yeah.
small dose of that.
The Ren Fair might have been more influenced. Like, we went to the Ren Fair this year, and there's like so many different fantasy worlds combining into that space.
Yeah,
that
the Ren Fair has lost its focus. There's always a couple of like Bill and Ted's walking around going, whoa,
Yeah.
and some Star Trek guys
There's a lot of
going,
people
Or
with
just people-
where
mushroom
are we,
hats.
Captain?
people who invented their own fantasy world and their characters from that fantasy world,
Right,
next
yeah,
to the person
sure.
who's like a scholar and is doing an exact, accent and character that would have existed in an
Right.
actual Renaissance.
I'm a tincture maker, and I
Yes.
am making tinctures from elements, and
Right.
that person is just having to like do a bit with a unicorn man.
Yes,
Can I tell you an embarrassing, shameful almost conversation that happened between Daniel and me at the Renaissance Fair on our way out? It
yes.
went like this. When exactly was the Renaissance? And both of us tried to guess it, and we don't exactly
Right.
know. And we did find out the answer at that time, but I can't remember.
How often do men think about the Renaissance?
Oh my God. Is that true that you guys think about the Roman Empire at least once a day? Are you aware
well,
of this
these
meme?
days,
I've
because
never heard
people
that
keep
Yeah,
bringing it
where
up.
did this is one of those where I tried to figure out where it started and couldn't.
I think
feel like
there's
some-
a type of like guy who's into like alpha shit, maybe
Oh,
and
right.
they
the
do
laws
probably.
of power guy.
Yeah, they do think about the Roman Empire
Right.
a lot, but I mean,
There was some
And
study.
just people who love aqueduct fans probably
Yes,
think about it a
that
lot.
Exactly.
Men think about the Roman Empire once a day. Like all men think about the Roman Empire once a day or something. And so it's like
are
taken
you
off
not a real
online.
man if you don't think about the Roman Empire?
I don't know.
I think about, Caligula every day.
Sure.
I'm always
I think that counts.
thinking about Caligula.
Never not thinking about Caligula. That's your phrase.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those stupid things that.
And Caligula was like sadistic and evil, or
Yeah.
he was
Yeah, I think evil.
He never said no to
I think
himself.
evil sex guy.
evil sex guy.
He
Okay,
just did lots of horrible things.
great. Let's hear about England. Please.
Yes, the London Podcast Festival happened. Very fun event. We've done Jordan Jesse Go over there a handful of times, and this was kind of a triumphant return for us. Thank you. And yeah, it was just a total blast. I mean, England's great. Let's see. Do I have anything other to say about it other than that it was fun and great?
What's the podcast scene in
Yeah.
London?
There,
Like, what?
So yeah, they have a big kind of complex called King's Place. It's in a neighborhood called King's Cross, and it's just this kind of complex that has like 3 or 4 theaters, and there's just kind of like they, start at 5 p.m. and there's just kind of podcasts that go, throughout the evening.
And all are all British podcasts about soccer, the Queen, and the Beatles?
Yes, yeah, it's one of the 3.
Yeah.
We had to fake it, so
Okay.
it's there's a lot of like stuff that I didn't recognize but is massively popular. Although I guess that's kind of just media now, is like here's this thing I've never heard of. 6
3
million people are
yeah.
into that.
Yeah.
Like what kind of stuff?
Oh, I guess I'm thinking of like
Different podcasts,
Twitch
right?
streamers.
Oh.
In general, the world of media
Twitch.
these days is like you've never heard of something, but it's
huge.
more popular than The Rock.
Yeah.
There's a lot of a lot of podcasts with their individual fandoms. A fun thing that I did was just kind of randomly some friends I have who live here are like, oh, we're also going to be in Europe and we're going to go to Paris Disneyland.
Ooh.
So I was like, you know what? This is too fun a coincidence. I'm going to go to Paris Disneyland with them.
How
so
was
I
it?
rode the Channel and did Paris Disneyland. It's like a kind of a jankier version of California Disneyland.
Oh, it is.
The rides are like a little faster and a little more terrifying.
Even Fantasyland rides, or you mean the roller coasters?
All of the above.
Oh, wow.
So they kind of make up for their lower budgets with like
Speed.
making you feel less safe.
So it's jankier.
It's
That's
jankier,
I
yeah.
wouldn't expect that.
No,
Like
yeah.
when you go on Pirates of the Caribbean here, and this animatronic is moving, and it kind of looks like it's breathing, and its facial expression changes. Like
That was just a 2D
there,
cardboard.
it'll just be a mannequin that rotates
Really?
slightly. Yeah. So like
Interesting.
just a little bit less impressive.
Interesting.
But a weird thing that happened on a couple. Oh, okay. A weird thing that happened on a couple of the rides that had like stories is that so there's an Avengers ride where the idea is that you're a recruit at Avengers training camp and there's missiles headed for Earth and
no.
who's gonna stop them? All right, recruits, you gotta help us. It's one of those. And so they have a CGI Iron Man who is talking to real Brie Larson, who is like playing her Avengers character.
Uh-huh.
She is speaking English and he is speaking French.
Oh.
And it drove me insane. We had to wait in like an hour line listening to these two have like the Marvel patter with each other, but in 2 different languages.
Why do they do it like that?
I have
wonder?
no idea.
That's
And you can
so
kind of
weird.
tell like the tone of what they're doing. Like it'll be like those little quips. Like he'll say French, and she'll go like, yeah, Tony, you're off the Christmas card list. What the
Wait, did they do that on more than one ride, or was it just like Brie doesn't speak French, so just
So that they also do that on the Finding Nemo ride. There's there's the turtle with the dude voice who's just talking to French.
I want to
Nemo.
hear that in French. The
No,
dude
I know,
voice.
I would too. But no, he's the one that speaks English to a French Nemo, and it is similarly maddening.
Huh.
I guess just enough people there speak both, but as someone who doesn't, it really drove me insane.
On the other rides, is it mostly French or mostly English?
It is all. Oh, there's it's a mix. So there's the Twilight Zone ride, which I think we have changed into
Yeah.
a Guardians of the Galaxy ride, but
Yes.
it's still a Twilight Zone ride. So there's like a ghost child on that ride who will warn you in French, pause, and then warn you in English.
Oh, nice.
Like French, and then go, you have to get out of here. And then pause, and then do another line in French.
Huh.
So is it California Adventure or is it Disneyland or is it a mishmash?
They have it's a 2-park thing.
Oh, so
it is
like we do.
Disneyland, and then it's Disney Studios, and it's kind of like it's a little Hollywood that you can visit right there in France. It's kind of Burbanky, actually.
Was it crowded?
It was there. You know, like the Avengers ride had a long wait, Nemo had a long wait, but everything else was like 10-15 minutes.
Interesting.
And I had the best theme park meal I've ever had.
Ooh.
There's the French.
Yeah, I know,
influence.
right? So, like, I am not one of these Disney people who will, like, trick myself into thinking the food is good.
You hear that, Disney people?
I know. And
Called out.
here's my asshole ironic distance.
Carly White's out right now.
I
It's
know.
like, hey.
I know.
She's fainting.
Like, the people who are like, oh, this is my food tour of Disneyland. I'm like, none of this was good, right? Or it was a B, or a B minus.
Yeah.
It's good for a musical.
Sure, yeah. But, we found a restaurant that had kind of a short line, but that short line just took a long time to move. So we were in line for, 40 minutes. And when I got up, I panicked. I had an order in mind. There had a little cone of chicken nuggets. I'm like, great. Yes, safe. When I got to the front of the line, I said, vegan curry. I'll have the vegan curry. I don't know why. I get this fucking vegan curry.
Did you choose to say it or did it just exit your mouth?
It just exited.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Wow.
I guess maybe I was thinking of like, long term. How is this going to be?
Right.
Maybe this will sit a little better than these chicken
nothing
nuggets.
like just a handful of vegan curry when you're in, in an amusement park.
It was delicious. It
Really?
was fucking delicious. It was great, and it had it didn't weigh me down. I feel like I had theme park stamina.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah.
later there's a Ratatouille world where the ride was broken, but they have these little stalls, and they are like a different regional French cuisine and a different wine pairing.
Ooh.
So you get a little dish from like the north of France or wherever, and then they give you a wine to go with it. And those were great too.
That sounds
The
really
fucking
fun.
food was tremendous.
Oh.
Did you go on, I'm going to say rides that I assume they have there, but I
Okay.
don't know. Did you go on Space Mountain?
No, Space Mountain was broken.
Boy.
There's a lot of broken rides.
Did you go on Thunder Mountain?
Thunder Mountain was fun. That was one where like it didn't have as much shit on it, but was faster and scarier. And there's just a lot of it's in the dark.
Did you go on Phantom Manor?
Yeah, I did go on Phantom
Is
Manor.
that
Yes,
Haunted
that is
Mansion?
their haunted mansion.
Look who's been watching YouTubes of your
Yeah.
Dude.
Disneyland.
That was really fun. They have like an old west scene, so they have like
Whoa.
cowboy ghosts.
That's fun.
And yeah, kind of the premise is you're going underneath the mansion, so you get to see like the roots of the trees
Oh,
and a
that's
bunch of like
neat.
there's a bunch of like gross zombies down there.
Do they have a Main Street?
They do have a main street, yeah, and with like with like a baseball themed hot dog restaurant, so kind of cartoonishly American.
You got to go on Podcast the Ride and talk about this.
Oh yeah, I love that show. I would love to go.
and
Back
how
on
how
Podcast
long
Ride.
was the journey from London to Paris Disney?
Let's see. So the Channel ride from London is like, and I stayed in Paris. So the
Okay.
Channel ride is like 2 hours, and then from like central Paris to Disneyland is like an hour train ride,
Gosh, that's really nice.
and it was lovely.
But Paris must be bigger than I'm realizing. How
Yeah,
big is Paris?
I
Jeff, you speak French.
yes.
Très big. Très grand.
You've been there.
I know.
It
but,
is as big as our coffees are small.
But the
coffees are
fact
little-
that you
little
take a
special.
train for an hour and you're still in Paris.
Well, but you could drive an hour out of LA and you're still in LA.
But can you take a train for an hour and still be in LA?
Yeah. It might not be technically Paris. I think because they
Oh,
changed the
okay.
name from Euro Disney when that was like synonymous with fiasco.
Oh,
So I think just Paris Disneyland sounds so much more inviting.
Right.
than
Maybe, yeah, it might not.
Euro
technically-
Disney,
Technically in
which kind of
Paris.
reminds you of failure.
Wait, what happened to Euro Disney?
I guess I always knew it as a kid as just a punchline for like something that didn't work.
right.
So I think initially it was like I'm not enough of a theme park guy to speak
Mhm.
super educatedly about this, but Yeah, I think it like sucked at first.
Yeah, like nobody showed up.
Yeah.
I feel like every amusement park related thing that happened under Eisner sucked. And I don't know if it was like a budget thing, but the initial Toontown, the initial like California adventure, like when it first started, it was all janky and cheap and
Disney,
shitty.
to their credit, really like plays the long game with some of this stuff
Yeah.
and like fixes it.
Yeah.
Because California Adventure is like fun now,
It's good
right?
now. I
I
actually
haven't been in
prefer
a
it.
while, but it's fun.
I still haven't spent a lot of time in California Adventure as a person who grew up in Southern California, and I still think of it as new.
Yes,
but it's
right.
been
I know.
there. The first time we went, I believe I had graduated high school, so like it has been there for a long time. But to me, it's still new.
I just like it because it has booze.
We had a good time there last time we went.
Yeah, we did.
We just didn't spend that much time there.
Anyway, but they have booze.
What
now.
do you get to drink?
You can have anything. Like if you go to the coffee hut, what was it? There's like a little coffee tent, you know? You can get coffee or you can get coffee with booze in it.
Wow.
Do you
Yeah.
remember
Full bar?
The liquor.
Wow.
Yeah, all over the place.
Remember the cookie fiasco?
Oh my God. I just remember telling the woman as I was getting the third or fourth cookie, I asked her if she had kids and she said no. And I said, don't.
I'm trying to remember
Snuckulos.
what happened. We had these two oversized chocolate chip cookies, let's say.
Like Elliot was upset because
And one of
Owen
them-
had touched
and
it
we-
or something.
It was something like Owen or Elliot wanted more, and then we gave him a remaining half, and then he was upset about that because that had been Owen's or something. So then Daniel went back to buy another cookie, but then Daniel had to keep going back to buy more cookies because there was some issue with every single cookie version.
Okay.
Now, granted,
We could have just put our foot down.
yes.
But we're not that kind of parents. We spoil our kids with the idea that we will die young,
Well,
and
it's
then
the-
the world will have to deal with them.
It's the kind of thing where it's like,
Not me.
which is easier right now,
Um,
buying
yes.
another cookie
Right.
or having this out. Speaking of food,
Mhm.
hoping to budget your food expenses this fall? Get more bang for your bite with America's Best Value Meal Kit. Every plate is 25% cheaper than grocery shopping with no hidden fees, so you can count on great value week after week. Plus, only pay for what you need with pre-portioned ingredients. Look, every plate is great. It's America's #1 meal kit. They give you everything you need to make a delicious meal, high-quality ingredients, sustainably sourced seafood that meets the Monterey Bay Aquarium seafood rankings. And every plate offsets 100% of their delivery emissions, and all their meals have a 31% lower carbon footprint on average than supermarket meals of the same portion. They have plenty of delicious variety, 26 tasty and affordable recipes that change every week. It's easy to find something flavorful and satisfying for every meal of the day. Plus, add more delicious options to your order with up to 22 convenient sides, lunches, snacks, desserts, and more. I love it. It is delicious. I feel good about it. And I recommend it. It's fun to do with your kids as well.
Mhm.
Get started with Every Plate for just $1.49 per meal by going to everyplate.com/podcast and entering code 49Allison. Again, get started with Every Plate for just $1.49 per meal by going to everyplate.com/podcast and entering code 49Allison. That's up to $110 value. I also want to tell you guys about OneSkin. Daniel, has my under eye area and general face area
Radiant.
been looking better? But
Yeah.
it's like a little more taut.
That's like my new favorite part of you now is right under your eye.
My under eye and my
Yeah.
general face skin.
So hot.
It's because I've been using OneSkin.
Wow.
They make use of peptides. I don't know if you're aware, but I feel like peptides
are the
they're
rage.
all over. Everyone's talking about them.
Oh my God. Can't get away from peptides.
Are you tired of cycling through the endless amount of trending skincare products that all claim to smooth wrinkles, firm skin, and give you a youthful glow, but they don't really deliver results at the end of the bottle?
Hate that.
Support for today's episode comes from OneSkin, founded by a team of 4 female PhD-level longevity scientists. Longevity scientists are also where it's at.
I love that.
Peptides and longevity science, guys.
That's the science of the future.
With over 15 years of experience studying the biology of aging, after testing thousands of peptides, they discovered OS1. The OS1 peptide is scientifically proven to target aged, also called senescent cells. I'm like 95% senescent cells right now.
Yeah, it's like your whole body looks like it's aging like really quickly, but it's like it's like you grafted skin from a child onto your face.
That is not what it looks like, but I I get the gist of what you're trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
The main source of skin aging. So the peptide scientifically targets these cells, which are the main source of skin aging, and actually reduces the biological age of skin by several years. Their flagship product, OS1 Face, is clinically validated to improve firmness, fine lines, and overall tone and appearance. So I have the OS1 Face, and then I have one for the eye area, and together they're making my under eye area and face skin my best feature. Yeah, so they leverage their in-house cutting-edge R&D platform, and they've been able to measure the efficacy of age reversal molecules in their lab. OneSkin is for everyone that wants to prevent or reverse the signs of aging with a groundbreaking approach. OneSkin addresses skin health at the molecular level, targeting the root causes of aging, so skin behaves, feels, and appears younger. It's time for you to experience a new skin health routine at a discounted rate today. Get 15% off with the code BESTFRIEND at oneskin.co. That's 15% off oneskin.co with code BESTFRIEND. We only have one body, one skin, and only you can choose to make it better, age, healthy with OneSkin. Okay. Really feeling the Invisalign. You're not hearing it?
A little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm tuned in to the nuances of your speech. So
I sound sultry. Right. I recorded an episode of Childish today with Greg Fitzsimmons, and he was like, "Do you have something on your teeth? Is there some kind of wrap or something?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm doing Invisalign." And he said my S's were not as crisp.
Yeah. But there's a filter that Jeff can put on.
Can you take the Invisalign off in post?
Yes.
Just kidding.
By the way, Owen's favorite animal is, now he's obsessed, scallops.
Really?
Yes.
I guess I don't know what a scallop looks like.
I don't either.
Not
for
on a plate.
Off of a
right, it's a round medallion
It's
on
like
a plate.
Sure, it's
That's
covered
the way
in butter.
That's the way they're in the ocean, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
That
like
bacon wrapped around them.
It's like a fluted bivalve. So like imagine a clam with
okay.
like a scalloped edge of it, and it just like the way it swims is like it kind of, my hands are kind of like going back and forth in a silly little way.
It like
That's
sucks
how it
in
swims.
water and spits it out.
Yeah.
And he loves scallop. He's a very fun child.
But they also, scallops have like 200 eyes around the edge of
Those
their
are
shell.
eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what they see. It allows them to like see prey or sense prey. But now that I know this, and because scallops, I like them. I think they're delicious. I don't know that I can eat them anymore because they're so human.
They're always
all
looking
those-
at other scallops.
all
They're
those
just
eyes, yeah.
perverts.
Exactly.
People, they're some of the smartest animals on planet Earth.
That's not true.
Yeah, but it's just funny the things that he gets into. He doesn't get into like Paw Patrol or PJ Masks or Bluey or any of that. It's cabbage,
A wheel of cheese.
wheel of cheese, scallops, puffer fish,
Like
Tortoises.
gems
Like,
and
how does
tortoises.
this manifest itself? Like watching YouTube videos about
Yes.
these
Yeah.
topics?
Yes, and
Okay.
he learned the stuff she just told you. He taught
But
us.
he taught me
Wow.
with eyes.
He's for.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's time to say hello and welcome to my new patrons.
Allison wants to say thank you to a couple of special people out there who signed up to be new patrons. Patreon.com/Allison Rosen.
Patreon. Hello.
Patreon.
Hello and welcome to Trice Sanders, to Jessica Geisler, to Betsy Watts, to Thomas Bona. He has increased his subscription and he's now at the texting level.
Love that.
And did an annual subscription
Soon he will go to the higher level where you stop texting back.
where I leave you alone.
Where you leave
Yes,
them alone.
there's a level where Allison will leave you on red.
Yes. Hello
And then
welcome.
text back, hey, I just got this.
I
hello.
forgot to hit send. Sorry.
I forgot to hit send.
This was in my drafts folder. It's so weird.
Mm-hmm.
Hello and welcome to Ann Lastinger, also an annual subscription, and Chuck McCune.
Thank you, guys.
Hello
We love you.
and welcome. I hope you're enjoying all the Patreon stuff.
I have a big announcement.
You do?
Well, I feel like my connection with this audience is such that I will let them in on something that's developing. Okay. So I am developing a new way of taking my pants off.
What is
It's
it?
not
is
finished
huge.
yet. Yeah, so I used to have the move, as many probably do. Look at my ball. Where you can take the one foot besocked.
You step on the back.
You
of
got
it.
your socks, yeah, and you can step on the sock and pant and pull the leg out,
Oh,
right?
out of both.
Yeah, boom, both at the same time. And
wow.
I have found that I can do that with my right toe on the left pant leg, but I just can't get purchase with my left toe on the right pant leg
Oh, interesting.
like I used to. And I don't know if it's like I turned 50 and now you lose left toe dexterity, but
Yeah, the left toe is the first to go.
so it's been frustrating me.
And you're going to be forgetting where you put your keys, calling Allison mommy.
Put me in the home when that starts happening. And so this morning, I bent down to take the pant off, and I did a 1-2 with and it was like easy.
Wait, what?
I can't describe it. Look, this is preliminary. Okay, I'm just sharing my excitement over this. It's a whole new technique. I've
What are you
never
going
done
to do with all this time you're saving?
No, it's just like now. It's
Think
just
about the Roman Empire.
Think about the Roman Empire.
it's,
Think about scallops.
I will be brainstorming ways that this will benefit me going forward, but I just want to just let everyone know this new development.
I'm really excited for you.
Yes.
So this new development, there's no stepping, there's no toe usage.
No, and look, you get to be 50, you think, I've seen it all.
Are you using your
How many-
hands?
Yeah, you use a hand, but how many ways can someone take their pants off?
There's wonder everywhere.
I've done it
See,
every which way.
You don't need to go to
Yeah.
Burning Man.
No,
You're
just-
finding
exactly.
the beauty, the sublime, the divine in
They say
the world around you.
Keep your spirit young.
Yes,
Discover new ways
yes.
of taking your pants off, and I did, and that's why I'm feeling good. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you look
As
good.
long as you do it in the house and don't go outside,
Right.
be performative.
No, I might be so excited. I might just stop people on the street and say, "Hey, look at this."
Just a hands-free pants flash mob. You and all your buddies just whipping them off.
Yes,
Whipping them off at the Burbank Town Center.
I know,
I know.
this is so early. You don't want to be hemmed
It's
in.
hard for me to describe because I
Hemmed
did
in
it.
pants.
Ooh, yeah.
That's fun.
I did it, and it was only after I did it that it dawned on me that this was a new thing, and the excitement, it was like a burst of dopamine that sort of erased the process a little in my
I
brain.
see.
So there's going to be
a discovery
some-
phase.
I have to go back and retrace my steps, and then I'll be able to describe it better. But it was definitely like a you could just take the sock and the pant all in one move, leg out. It was just as fast as the toe on the hem.
I can't picture it. Anyone?
I can't picture it either.
No,
I
I
mean-
can't. But I mean, you're communicating the vibe appropriately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I can't wait
it's
to see
just
it
vibes
in
right now.
action. Yeah.
Maybe this will save you from a kidnapping one day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Because they'll try to nab you and they'll just be holding your pants.
Everyone's laughing at me now.
Did the
But then-
underwear go with the pants?
No, Jesus Christ. What do I look
How quickly
like?
can you become naked?
What do I look like? Greg Louganis over here? I'm not an Olympic athlete. I can't do the underwear and the sock
I'm
and the
just
pant
asking.
all in one.
Could Greg
move.
Louganis do that?
Of course he did. Of course.
I was just asking.
No, I'm not. Listen, see, this is.
Do you ever?
I was on a high, but can you do the underwear too? Oh no. Oh,
This is the first
maybe
step
It's not so
on the
great.
journey.
You weren't just kicking it off.
No,
It was controlled.
Yeah, it was controlled, but it was
Did you
flamboyant and wonderful.
Did you consider telling me and decide to save it for the show?
No, I was just thinking about it later, and I thought, this is something I have to tell.
Will you do it on Patreon?
Oh my
Will you
God.
demonstrate?
Yes.
I can't. I'm not,
You could wear modest underwear.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a TikTok user, but I will occasionally get sent to TikTok.
Yeah.
And this seems like the kind of thing that would fucking blow up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like it's a hack.
But is this
The
the kind of
Quantz
thing
method.
that if I
Quantz,
tell
yes.
if I tell people how to do it, do I rob them of their discovery themselves in
Right.
their
Well,
lives?
do
Because
you trust them to discover it?
honey, not everybody reaches the same heights.
But like you
Pay it forward, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You discovered like
Great
the
movie.
perfect way to fall asleep.
I did.
The
It's
Quantz
true.
method
I
for
have
falling
not
asleep.
shared that one yet.
You
really.
have.
Oh, I have?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You have.
Yeah, that's a fail-safe move.
You shared that, and you were excited when you discovered that.
But I haven't on TikTok.
Oh, right.
Can I know what the Quantz method for falling asleep is?
He's got
Well,
a lot of methods
Well, the best
for different things.
the best is you get on your side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Love sleeping on the side.
Yeah. And then you position yourself so that you're almost rolling on your back, but not fully.
Mm-hmm.
So that what happens is your body starts to feel like it's falling into it, but it doesn't.
Okay.
And then what happens is your brain, it falls into sleep while your body is just in that
Oh,
position. It's
interesting.
comfortable and boom.
So you're leaning back like at a 45
A
degree.
little bit. It's a little
Oh.
bit of a
Wow.
And what are your other Quantz methods? There's the sweater one for hanging up a sweater.
hang out, a sweater on a hanger without getting the dimples on the shoulders. Quantz.
And it involves like crossing the
You
arms.
got to cross
right?
the arms over the tops
Mhm.
so that the weight isn't on the shoulders.
And then the Quantz method for walking just involves engage your toes.
Yeah, but I have to admit, like
Maybe you
As
just
someone
have
who's-
like, unusually nimble toes.
Had.
had, like I didn't want to highlight that part of it because I am the toes guy.
Right.
Uh,
seen-
That would take off on TikTok.
Yeah, I've seen your OnlyFans.
but I will say, if you think about using your toes more, you will become more agile.
Mm.
And you'll make crisper turns. You will be able to bend over easier. There's lots of things that it helps you with. I'm gonna write a book. Well, you know what? Try it out. I think you'll like it.
I think it might be time to do just me or everyone if Jordan has one.
Ooh, gosh, do I have one? I didn't think.
Okay, let me look in my file. Oh, I like that.
Hold music.
Jeff, the sticker on your laptop.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? Grandpa's secret formula.
Well,
rocket
that's
man.
Grandpa Munster from the Munsters.
Yes, but what's the logo? Like, is that like a company or is that just?
It's like a gag.
Okay.
Little classic TV humor.
Yes. Is it true that he outlived everyone else on that show? I just remember him in an interview.
Kids have to be alive, right? Are the kids not
Oh,
alive?
yeah. Eddie Munster's definitely still alive.
Maybe it was the adults. He was in an interview with Howard Stern or something, and he's like, how are you the one that's still alive? And he's like, I've got closets full of spite, and I'm not leaving till they're empty.
Wow.
Okay.
Sometimes I ponder on something I have thought or done. Is it just me or everyone?
Skadoop doop.
It's time for just me or everyone.
All right. Brian in Texas says, when someone shows you a picture on their phone, do you turn away from the phone until the picture they want to show you is pulled up so you don't accidentally catch a glimpse of any not safe for work pictures they don't want you to see? I think I do.
I absolutely do this.
Yes.
The feeling of like, the feeling of watching someone like scroll their phone is pretty intimate.
It is.
Like I do kind of wait until I'm sure that what they want to show me is up.
Mhm.
But if
Yeah.
they're letting you see it,
Right.
But they might like forget what's in there.
And it's not even like do they have nudes on there, which I know is like a possibility, but like I don't know, like if someone just saw what I had been looking at on YouTube, I would feel weird.
Yes.
You know, or just like if my Apple Music was open and they saw like the last thing I was listening to, I would feel weird.
What would be worse? Okay, so Russia hacks everybody's private
Right.
stuff, and they're going to release one or the other. Which would be worse? Dick pic, that you maybe have sent, or your YouTube browsing history?
Dick pic. Yeah,
It's worse.
Take the hit once,
all
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Have you ever had this move happen where you show someone a picture and you hand them your phone and they look at it and then they start swiping
Yes!
left or right?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
That's not
yeah.
okay. That is such an uncomfortable feeling.
That is a
Yeah,
violation.
I just start doing the mind roulette of like, what did I take a picture of?
Yeah.
I'm proud of my dick. I'm not proud of the fact that I watch our videos explaining the story of Tekken to me. Dick's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I am now at the point.
Wait, so you'd prefer the dick get out?
Prefer the dick.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
much prefer.
Right.
Easy.
Yeah. It says less about you in a weird way.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. It's like how, and I'm sorry I have to go gross for a second, but I think given the choice between smelling someone's,
Wow, where's this going?
my butt is getting so raw. Given the choice between smelling someone's butt and smelling someone's burp, someone's fart.
Mm-hmm.
Smelling someone's fart or smelling someone's burp, I'm going to choose fart because there's just too much information in a burp. If you're smelling the burp, like, ew.
Yeah, like your average fart is pretty bad,
Mm-hmm.
but like those burps that smell bad are fucking next level.
Yeah. And it's
That is
also
next level gross.
Mhm.
like, it's like, was it Dostoevsky who said this about
I think that was Dostoevsky.
who said, like all happy families are happy in the same way, all unhappy families are unhappy in different ways, or vice versa, something like that.
Yeah.
Was that Dostoevsky?
Do
You know the quote I'm talking
That
about?
sounds like him. That sounds like him.
Classic
Yeah.
Theodore.
Guy was always saying
Yeah.
shit like that.
Yeah.
Farts are all kind of a kind.
Sure.
Burps can wildly vary.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're close enough to be smelling a burp, you're close enough to be getting mouth particles. And like if you smell a fart, you're not getting butt
I
particles
think
on
you
you.
might be.
Really?
I think so.
Okay.
What did you see? Ice Storm?
I did see Ice Storm.
That,
But
isn't there a whole thing at the beginning
well-
about how they say that like smells are tiny particles? So when you're smelling someone's fart, you are.
But with a
I don't know.
fart,
I just remember the orgy stuff from that.
but a fart
I remember
usually
the fart
has
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
There's an orgy in that movie?
I don't remember that.
it usually has 2 layers of filtration. The fart, whereas
Yeah,
a
that's
burp
an
has
issue.
no
It-
filtration
it,
unless you're
it's
wearing
going
a
through the
mask.
pants. It's
And
going through
underwear.
the underwear.
Yeah,
with
you're
Right.
right.
Unless you
People
walk
should-
into a public bathroom or something, then it's just raw, unfiltered farts.
People should burp with masks on.
Couldn't agree more.
Ugh. So anyway, what I was going to say is,
Listen, you've all got some masks in the house.
I feel like my phone just has a lot of pictures that need some explaining.
Mm.
So it's like, what is this bump?
Sure.
It's that kind of stuff. But then also,
There is a lot of that, like just skin parts of the skin.
yeah.
Or, you know.
And then also now a lot of like Robin Shore, the aforementioned of Shore Stories, went to a screening of Jenny Connor's husband's new movie. And I guess they did like a Q&A.
Mm.
So I'm like, who is that guy interviewing him? Is that Jay Leno? Absolutely not Jay Leno. But even with my glasses on, I couldn't tell. So I had to take a picture so I could expand it.
Oh, yeah.
So many pictures of other people's Instagram that I had to then zoom in on. But I feel like if someone saw that, it would require explanation. Like, why do you have Jenny Connor's husband's picture in your phone?
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I do that a lot too. Or if there's something I need to read in a picture or video and it's like I can't, I'll just screen grab it and
Yeah.
zoom in.
We're old, but young at heart.
But still,
Discovering
new
new ways to
way
get
to take off our
That's
pants.
true. That's
Yeah.
true. I still have a fresh taint.
You could train the guys from like Magic Mike Live on how to take off their pants.
Oh, I bet they have a good way to do it.
They have
But not
tearaway
this.
pants. I mean, that's a whole different ballgame.
But I mean,
Okay.
I think, every male stripper can rip away the pants, but
But like, how erotic is that? Oh, some guy has tearaway pants in a stage show, but wouldn't you rather, ladies, go see a guy stripping who's like a normal guy who just has great technique?
Yeah, sure. Right.
That is what everyone is there for, the technique.
Yeah,
Right.
Like, wow, look at that. So maybe.
I want to remind everyone that I have lots of merch available. I have a merch store. It's live. There's all sorts of stuff in it. We're talking t-shirts, mugs, stickers, hoodies, tank tops, notebooks, pint glasses, water bottle, and soon to be even more stuff. We got stuff at the ready. So here's a hint of what some of it might be. Jeff, play the Eat a Bag of Dicks song.
You can eat a big old bag of dicks, eat a big old bag of dicks, eat a big old bag of dicks, eat a bag of dicks, eat a bag of dicks. Hey.
Oh,
Yeah.
they can suck my nuts.
We're going to have some of that
God, I haven't
fresh
heard that
merch.
one.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Like, suck it, bitch.
These are all great T-shirt ideas.
Like a
I'm
douche.
You are an idea factory.
Well, if you combine 8 years.
This could be like one of those. All of those could be on one shirt, like those patriotic Facebook ad
Yes.
shirts.
Oh, yeah.
Different fonts.
I love those.
Oh, someone should do that.
Like the ones where they just declare like all their interests and who they are with American flags and eagles and
No,
stuff.
just like all, I don't know, but yes.
I'm a,
Gun toting, beer swilling, truck driving, country music loving, flag kissing. Yeah.
there's one where I think someone photoshopped it was like, who loves to like eat ass or something like
Yes,
that.
yeah,
And you're just
sure,
like,
sure.
Is that real?
Do you remember
yes.
when we were at the pool in Tucson and
Oh,
you're
yeah.
like, that guy's wearing a white pride shirt and has a white pride
Oh.
tattoo or something.
Yeah. Go
And
ahead.
I became so uncomfortable. I was like, I don't feel, it's not that I really felt unsafe. I didn't think he was going to do anything, but it was such a weird experience for me. I became like so highly self-conscious and just uncomfortable. And then at the end, you're like, oh, wait, I think I was wrong.
Oh, no. I looked up. He had.
Oh, that's
had a-
Shrek. He has a Shrek shirt and
The
Shrek
name of the
tattoo.
T-shirt company was on his sleeve, and
It was like 17 something, right?
I forget, but I have an update to that actually because
actually it was?
it
Oh,
was
okay. So it's
Enrique
good that I
Tarrio, the head of the Proud Boys who went to prison. He had a T-shirt company, and it was his T-shirt company.
Oh,
So it doesn't mean necessarily that this, but I mean, who's going to that fucking guy's online shop, especially when you can go to AllisonRosen.com.
That's right. Go to
Mhm.
AllisonRosen.com and look for the banner that says my merch store is live or something like that. Quick question though. Didn't it turn out that Ed Hardy was problematic in some way? Speaking of t-shirts, does anyone know?
I think
Heard.
so.
I mean, it's not a shock that you say that,
Right.
but I didn't hear about anything
I
specific.
can't remember.
There was like a kind of a week documentary about Von Dutch. That was-
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, is that
Oh,
who
it
I'm
was Von
thinking of?
Dutch who
Yes.
was, not Ed Hardy.
Yes, we watched most of that. That was pretty good.
But like, who didn't know that before the T-shirt
Right.
company came out?
Right.
Right.
This has been delightful. Jordan,
Yes.
tell us where we can find you. And actually, didn't you reveal the cover of your new book today?
Did. Thank you
Jordan.
for setting me up to talk about it. Next year, a graphic novel that I wrote is coming out, illustrated by the great Bowen McGurty, who is a gosh darn genius. They did the Spectre Inspector series of spooky YA comics that maybe you've seen in your local comic book store. Our book is called Youth Group. It is a YA horror comedy about goofy teenage exorcists. It is set in our hometown of Orange County, California.
Whoa.
Where in Orange
Set
County?
in the 90s.
What?
So maybe some stuff you'd recognize in there, reference wise.
Is the lab anti-mall in there?
Oh no, we did not. We're not able to sneak in a scene that takes place at
South
the
Coast
lab
Plaza,
anti-mall.
Fashion Island?
Oh yeah,
Damn it.
Crystal Court is in there.
Great.
Bagels and brew. They
my
all go to
parents'
Bagels
house
and
in
brew.
there?
Yes, your parents' house. Yeah,
Perfect.
It's a big setting.
Dietrich's Coffee?
Oh, it's all there. You're gonna have to find
It's
out.
a very long.
Yeah.
Right.
Not Scary Farm. So yeah, it turned out really cool. It is a strangely personal piece of writing, the sort of which I don't normally do. But yeah, it's a ton of fun. It's got a bunch of jokes. It's got some spooks, some spookies, some romances. a lot of friendship. Bowen is a gosh darn genius, so it looks beautiful. It's coming out next summer, but you can pre-order it now. I know it's a little weird to ask people to do that. I was not a big pre-orderer of books before I started making them,
it
but
matters.
It totally matters.
Yeah, it's
so
a big deal.
yeah, youth group. It is anywhere you want to buy a book.
And if you pre-order it, here's a little secret. If you pre-order it, you will forget you pre-ordered it. And then one day,
Yes.
it's like a gift you give yourself in the future.
Yes, time travel, self-care,
It is so
pre-order
true.
books. It's a little treat. Youth group. It's Amazon, Barnes & Noble, your local indie bookstore, bookshop.org. That's a great place to order a book. That would be, I would love it if people would check it out. I'll definitely be like crowing about it for the next 9 months or so. But if you care to, would appreciate a pre-order for that.
When you say strangely personal, is it like autobiographical in places or?
Yeah. So I am, I'm usually a pretty like mercenary writer. I just kind of like get a job and try and do a good job. And, like a lot of TV writing and stuff is like imitating a style, it's like, here's a pre-established template, try and write like this. I don't like write about myself a lot. Usually kind of my own stuff is like, I'm following a funny idea. And that's kind of how this started, was like, haha, what if one of these goofy Bible study groups had to actually do exorcisms? Like that was the
great premise.
joke.
Yeah.
And then when I like got it back, and so the original pitch, it was not set in the 90s. My editor said like, hey, maybe set it in the 90s. Because I think she kind of saw where it was going. And then when I got the first volume back, I'm like, oh, this is a hyper personal look at my childhood, and I was unpacking some shit. It was I like didn't know it was happening until I kind of read it, and it's really really weird to see it on the page like that.
That makes I really want to read it now.
Yeah,
And
wow.
I hate your writing.
Sure, it's bad. So kind of, I don't know. It's maybe even a little scary to be thinking that like something that personal is going to be out there when it's not something I normally do.
Good for you, I say.
Sure. But yeah, I'm really proud of it. I'm really excited for it to be out there. So
Awesome.
check it out wherever you get a book.
Wonderful. And Daniel?
Well, you could just follow me at Daniel Quantz at Instagram. That's pretty much it. Or Threads or Blue Sky. I don't know.
D Quantz on the Snappy.
Oh God.
Yeah, I would love to talk about that on a future episode. What Twitter alternative is
alternative
is everybody using?
I just want something to be good.
It would be nice if something was good.
I miss Twitter. Twitter now, obviously it's unusable for the obvious reasons, but like I was trying to go back. I have a list where it was like sports people, and because I was watching a football game, and it was just like the functionality has changed.
Yeah, it's
even.
just broke.
It's just broken. Yeah. So. Yeah.
And Jeff, where might we find you?
Well, I don't have any social media to plug, but Tony's not the only cool rock and roller. As you know, you've seen my new wave surf band, the Specific Palisades, before. I know you guys came out. We're going to be playing at the El Segundo Pier next week.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And follow me on social media at Allison Rosen on Twitter and Instagram. I'm the Allison on TikTok. And I've already mentioned my Patreon, my other Patreon. I have a special Patreon show with Todd Perry. It's called Allison and Todd After Hours, and it is fun and spicy. Is it spicy? I don't know. Patreon.com/Allison and Todd. And if you like what you're hearing, leave a review. And even if you don't, leave a review, 5 stars, please. Thank you so much, guys. Listeners, thank you for listening. I love you. You matter. Goodbye.
Hey, do you know about the Allison Rosen Show?